Walt Disney didn't start with a sprawling studio and a global empire. He started with a pencil and an idea that almost everyone around him thought was completely insane. This is the story of how one man's stubborn imagination built a world that continues to shape our own. Walter Elias Disney was born in Chicago in 1901. His childhood wasn't a fairy tale. The family constantly struggled with money, and young Walt had to work tough, long hours delivering newspapers before school. It was a harsh reality, but even in those early, difficult days, he had an escape: drawing. He drew constantly, on any scrap of paper he could find. Art was his refuge. After a brief stint as an ambulance driver in France at the end of World War I, Disney returned to the States, determined to make a living as an artist. He moved to Kansas City and dived into the brand-new, exciting world of animation. He started his first company, Laugh-O-Gram Studio, and it failed miserably. He went bankrupt, lost everything, and was left with practically nothing but his suitcase and his drawing tools. Many people would have given up right there, but Walt wasn't most people. He packed his bags and headed to Hollywood with a new plan. He started over, working out of his uncle's garage. After a few modest successes with a character named Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which he ironically lost the rights to, he was at another low point. But on a train ride back to California, feeling defeated, he doodled a new character, a simple, cheerful mouse with big round ears. He named him Mortimer, but his wife Lillian suggested a friendlier name: Mickey. In 1928, Mickey Mouse debuted in Steamboat Willie, and everything changed. Steamboat Willie wasn't just another cartoon. It was a revolution. It was one of the very first cartoons with perfectly synchronized sound. You didn't just see Mickey whistling, you heard it. This was a game changer. Disney understood something fundamental that his competitors didn't quite grasp. It wasn't just about making people laugh. It was about making them feel. Stories create an emotional connection, and that connection is what builds lasting loyalty. Mickey Mouse wasn't just a character. He was a personality, a friend. He became a global phenomenon. But Disney wasn't content to rest on his laurels. He was relentless. He was always pushing the boundaries of what was possible in animation. After sound, he pioneered the use of full, vibrant Technicolor in his Silly Symphony series. The industry was impressed, but Walt was already dreaming bigger, much bigger. He had an idea that everyone in Hollywood, including his own brother and business partner Roy, thought was commercial suicide. He wanted to make a full-length feature animated film. At the time, cartoons were just short little gags you saw before the main movie. No one believed an audience would sit through an 80-minute cartoon. They called it Disney's Folly. The project was so expensive it nearly bankrupted the studio again. Staff worked tirelessly, innovating new techniques like the multiplane camera to create a sense of depth and realism never seen before. In 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs premiered. The world held its breath. And then, they cheered. The film was a breathtaking, smash hit success. It wasn't just a cartoon. It was a piece of art that made audiences laugh, cry, and sing along. It proved that animation could be a powerful medium for serious, emotional storytelling. It established Walt Disney Studios as the undisputed leader in the field and gave them the financial security to dream even bigger. Following Snow White, the studio entered what's now known as its golden age, producing classics like Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, and Bambi. Each film pushed the art form in new directions. Disney built a unique studio culture centered on innovation and perfection. He fostered a collaborative environment but was also known as a demanding, sometimes tyrannical, boss. He expected excellence from everyone because he demanded it from himself. He was the ultimate storyteller, involved in every frame, every note of music, every character design. Then, a new technology emerged that threatened the movie business: television. While other studios saw TV as the enemy, Disney saw opportunity. He embraced it. He started creating TV shows like The Mickey Mouse Club and Walt Disney's Disneyland. These weren't just shows. They were brilliant marketing. They gave audiences a behind-the-scenes look at his movies, built anticipation for upcoming releases, and most importantly, they were a way to promote and fund his most audacious dream yet. Walt wasn't satisfied with just creating worlds on a screen. He wanted to build one you could walk into. He envisioned a place where families could have fun together, a clean, safe, and immersive environment, an amusement park, but unlike any other. This was the idea for Disneyland. Again, people thought he was crazy. The project was massive, complex, and incredibly expensive. But on July 17, 1955, Disneyland opened its gates in Anaheim, California. It was more than just a collection of rides. It was a living, breathing extension of the Disney brand of storytelling. Every land, from Fantasyland to Adventureland, was meticulously designed to transport you to another time and place. It was a masterclass in experience design. You weren't just at a park, you were inside the story. Disneyland was a monumental success and redefined the entire concept of a theme park. But even with all this success, Walt's mind was already on the next big thing. His last great project was perhaps his most ambitious. He looked at the problems of modern cities, the traffic, the chaos, the lack of community, and believed he could design a better way to live. He envisioned a futuristic city, an experimental prototype community of tomorrow, or Epcot. It wouldn't be a theme park. It would be a real, living city, a blueprint for the future where technology, urban planning, and community would seamlessly merge. Tragically, Walt Disney passed away in 1966 from lung cancer before his vision for Epcot could be fully realized. He left behind a monumental legacy, but also a huge void. The company he built stumbled for a while, unsure how to proceed without its visionary leader, but the foundation he laid was strong. The culture of storytelling and innovation eventually found its footing again. The company continued to expand, launching more theme parks around the world, creating a powerful television presence, and entering a new renaissance of animated films in the late 80s and 90s with hits like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and The Lion King. Today, the Walt Disney Company is one of the most powerful and influential media conglomerates on the planet. From Pixar to Marvel to Star Wars, its reach is immense. It all started with one man who failed, went bankrupt, and was told his ideas were impossible. Walt Disney didn't just draw cartoons. He built a system that turned imagination into a global industry. He proved that a good story, told with passion and innovation, could truly change the world. He started with a pencil and an idea, and he ended up building a kingdom. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of people who shaped our world. See you in the next one.